Does Medicare cover Ozempic? The good news is that Medicare should cover Ozempic if it's being prescribed for diabetes. But if it's not being prescribed for diabetes and you're wanting to get Ozempic for weight loss, Medicare is not going to cover that. And if you didn't know, Ozempic is expensive if you have to pay out of pocket. So according to GoodRx, Ozempic is going to cost between $900 to over $1,000 a month for that prescription. And that is a lot of money for people that are retired and living on a fixed income. So the question then becomes, how are you going to pay for Ozempic if you want it for weight loss? Well, Medicare is not going to cover it if it's being used for or being prescribed for weight loss. There are Medicare Advantage plans that might cover it for weight loss, but it's highly unlikely. So then your next options would be your retirement savings, which may or may not be a good idea depending on your income and what the balances are of your assets. Family, if you've got wealthy family that's willing to help you out, that's awesome. Most of us don't. So then that leaves us with a credit card, which would be an absolutely horrible idea because you're going to start burying yourself in credit card debt and be unable to make those payments at some point in the future if you're just making the minimum payment but continuously charging that $1,000 a month for the Ozempic prescription. So the good news is that there is an alternative way to pay for Ozempic. You could pay for Ozempic with a reverse mortgage, and I know that sounds weird, but the reverse mortgage could provide enough access to enough cash to be able to pay for that monthly prescription. It could help you retain your current retirement savings. So instead of draining your retirement savings to pay for Ozempic, use the funds from the reverse mortgage. Another way it could help is to consolidate debt to free up cash flow. So let's say you had credit cards and car payments and a mortgage. If you could consolidate all of that into a reverse mortgage, it could free up enough cash flow for you to be able to afford that monthly Ozempic prescription. And it could also help you be better prepared for other large expenses during retirement, such as healthcare costs, home repair and maintenance, car repairs, etc. It just gives you access to another source of funds to help deal with those issues as they pop up during your retirement. So let's take a look at the scenario of Mary, who is 65 years old. She has $3,200 a month of income. She owns a $500,000 home, and she currently owes $98,000 on her mortgage, which has an $875 a month payment, which does not include taxes and insurance. She's got about $45,000 in retirement savings, and she really, really wants and needs to lose weight, as she's tried everything to lose weight. She's tried all the pills and the potions. She's tried Jenny Craig. She's tried all the various fad diets, the workout plans, etc. Nothing has ever worked for Mary. The issue is Mary cannot afford the $950 a month that it's going to cost for her Ozempic prescription. So Mary called me hoping that I might have a solution for her with the reverse mortgage, and we do. So here is Mary's loan represented by this bar chart. So the blue represents Mary's home value, assuming a 4% appreciation rate. The orange represents the reverse mortgage loan balance. And so we can see initially that balance is $117,000. And that's because we're going to consolidate her current mortgage into the reverse mortgage, and Mary's going to lump in the closing costs. So she's starting off with a $117,000 balance, and we can see that over time, this loan balance is increasing. The reason the loan balance is increasing is because we are going to make the assumption that Mary is not going to make a monthly mortgage payment towards the reverse mortgage. She still has to pay her property taxes and her homeowner's insurance, but because she's not making a payment, the interest in mortgage insurance gets added to that loan balance and it increases over time. The green represents her line of credit. And initially, Mary starts off with a $54,000 line of credit. So, based off of the maximum amount that Mary could borrow, paying off her current mortgage, lumping in the closing costs, what she's left over with is about $54,000 line of credit. What's interesting is you can see this line of credit is also growing over time. The reason the line of credit is growing is because any funds available in this line of credit grow at the current interest rate plus 0.5%. So there's just more and more for Mary to borrow at some point in the future. The other great thing about this is that should Mary need money out of this line of credit at some point in the future, whatever funds she draws, she still does not have a monthly mortgage payment. She still has to pay her property taxes and her homeowner's insurance, but drawing money out of the line of credit does not require a payment. So again, this sets up Mary in a pretty good position. Initially, it almost doubles the amount of cash that she has for the rest of her retirement, and it's just another growing source of funds should she need them at some point in the future to pay for medical care, home maintenance, car repairs, etc., like that. So there's lots of reasons to consider getting the reverse mortgage to help pay for the Ozempic. First and foremost is it could create the ability for you to actually afford the Ozempic prescription. Secondly, you're not going to get into credit card debt, and especially if you're retired and living on a fixed income, getting into credit card debt is like dancing with the devil. It's just a really poor choice, and it's a problem that you'll probably never overcome just because getting out of that debt is difficult on a fixed income. The other big thing, though, is that getting the reverse mortgage could create an additional source of retirement funds, especially with that line of credit. And at some point in the future, you could use that to supplement your income, or it's just a source of funds to deal with large expenses that are likely to pop up at some point in the future, such as future medical expenses, long-term care needs, or home maintenance. All of those things can be very expensive. And by setting up the reverse mortgage, we have the ability to deal with those things when they pop up. Of course, there's an improved quality of life, and people are going to feel better if they get Ozempic and they lose the weight. The improved quality of life is just physically being able to do the things that you want to do, and feeling better could be both emotionally and mentally as well as physically. So being able to get and pay for the Ozempic prescription with the reverse mortgage comes with a lot of benefits. Want to see how this would work for you? Want to see what your numbers would look like? Want to do some forecasting to see if this might be a good solution for you? Give me a call. There's no cost to speak with me. There's no obligation. I'm happy to put all these numbers together for you and answer any questions that you have about reverse mortgages. Give me a call, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks.